Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the RotoBaller Radio Waiver Wire Series. I'm your host, Anthony Aniano, as we take a look at pitchers available on the waiver wire for Week 22 of your fantasy baseball season. The week beginning Monday, August 23rd. Guys, don't forget, head over to rotoballer.com and check out everything we have there. The main page, the premium package, the expert chats, you name it, rotoballer.com has you covered. Whether you play DFS or season-long formats, football, baseball, basketball, MMA, esports, NASCAR, PGA, sports betting, rotoballer.com, the place to be. Sign up for any of the premium packages, including the fantasy football package that we're all now elbow deep in. Okay, sign up now using the promotional code ACES. Save yourself a bit of money there, and be sure to check out our new updated player profile pages. Absolutely exceptional stuff, out courtesy of rotoballer.com. And make sure you check out all the great content here on the RotoBaller YouTube channel. And guys, don't forget, weekly fantasy baseball is here. If you love the strategy of season-long fantasy sports, live for the short-term excitement of DFS, then be sure to try out weekly fantasy baseball contests on Owner's Box. Head over to rotoballer.com/box and sign up today. Our friends at Owner's Box are hooking you up. All new users get up to a $500 deposit match bonus and a free RotoBaller Premium Pass valued at $99. We'll be hosting weekly free roll contests on Owner's Box as well, which are free to enter with lots of awesome prizes to the winners. Head over to rotoballer.com/box for all the details and sign up today. All right, everybody. Hopefully you already saw the hitter ads for Week 22. Now it's time to talk about a couple of pitchers. Okay, a few starters, few closers who have picked up some saves of late, who can help you potentially here down the stretch, right? Okay, knocking on the door of September, home stretch of your fantasy season, whether you use a playoff format or your rotisserie, which means you're going basically right up until the last day. Got to be mindful of young players now getting a little bit more playing time, pitchers getting rested down the stretch, so be mindful of all of that. But a couple of pitchers, starting pitchers, who have caught my eye of late, three young starters. Okay, the first one, Nestor Cortez of the New York Yankees. 33% rostered, and over the last 14 days has been exceptional as these Yankees make a traditional, and it pains me to say it in my Mets shirt, their traditional Yankee run to the postseason. 19 strikeouts in his last 18 and 2/3 innings. That's 9.16 Ks per 9 innings. Over those 18 and 2/3 innings, it's a 3.38 ERA, a whip of 1.13. And we don't do it in the beginning of the year, but you could do it now. Nestor Cortez, 2 wins. You pick, if you need wins, you're adding pitchers on teams like the Yankees that are red hot. Okay? On the season now, overall, he's up to 60 strikeouts and 56 1/3, striking out 26.5% of the batters he faces. His ERA on the season sits at 2.56, and his xERA, his expected ERA, is 2.70. There's no lie there. He's been that good. Batting average against, 2.12. Sign me up. Nestor Cortez, my number one pitcher ad of the week. Next start, tough one, August 26th against the Oakland Athletics. But there's no denying the way he's pitched. There's no denying the offensive run support he will get. The only question will be the bullpen situation as Chad Green continues to pick up some saves. Aroldis Chapman off the DL, still ineffective. Zach Britton said, no more closer for me, I'm terrible. Chad Green, the guy taking over of late until Chapman rights the ship. Another young pitcher, and if you've been watching this all year, I've mentioned Tariq Skubal in the past. And again, he's an ebb and flow pitcher, and right now he's on a good run. Over his last 12 and 2/3 innings, 13 strikeouts, 9.24 Ks per 9, 44% rostered on Yahoo. But what I love over his last couple of starts, his ERA sits at 1.42 and his whip at 0.95. He's brought that walk rate down significantly of late. He's got 8 wins on the season. Now, big picture, his expected ERA is 5.34, but his actual ERA is at 4.02. His next start, August 25th against St. Louis, he gives you 5 good innings. Now you've got a sub-4 ERA pitcher, which is somebody you have to pay attention to, especially when that pitcher has 134 strikeouts in 123 innings pitched. The concern with Skubal, 24 years old, first full season, at what point does Detroit say enough is enough and sit Skubal down? I like his start coming up, though, August 25th against St. Louis. On the year, batting average against sits at 245, and the whip at 128 and dropping with each start of late. Final starting pitcher, Josiah Gray, picked up by the Nationals from the Dodgers in the Max Scherzer Trey Turner trade. And he has to hit, right? For the Nationals to justify this trade, Josiah Gray has to hit. Now, Josiah Gray gives up a tremendous amount of fly balls, and he has been prone to home runs. And that is a concern and something for him to work on the rest of the season, heading into next season, as he's really going to become the face of that pitching staff in Washington. Can't count on Strasburg anymore. Patrick Corbin's been terrible. Josiah Gray's got to become the face of that staff. But since joining the Nationals, he has pitched to a 2.86 ERA and a 2.25 batting average against. He's only 36% rostered. 20 strikeouts in his last 17 innings. 10.6 Ks per 9 with an ERA of 3.18 and a whip of 1. Next start, August 25th against Miami. I'm in. I'll play that game with Josiah Gray. I have him. I actually swung a huge trade. For those of you who use the Otnu format on Fangraphs, my season didn't go as planned. A lot of injuries derailed me. The Trevor Bauer situation, Alex Bregman on the DL. My season just fell apart. So I decided to make the youth movement. Manny Machado and Aaron Judge, both over $40 players on that format. For me, not worth the money they would be when you add in the $3 extra. They would both have ended up being about $45 players. I packaged Aaron Judge and Manny Machado to an owner of a team who's in second place and going to make a run. And the reality is we'll be releasing Judge and Machado because of their cost. They're cost prohibitive next year. And I was able to get Josiah Gray and Kevar Ruiz both at $1 tags, which means they'll be $4 players next year. I'm all in on that price for a long-term free, what I think is going to be a short-term rebuild. So Josiah Gray, excited to have him in that format. He struck out 28% of the batters he has faced this year with a 3.9 ERA and a 3.87 expected ERA. Okay, like I said, that 2.25 batting average against since joining the Nationals. 35 strikeouts in 30 innings. That includes his short stint with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Cortez is 1. Josiah Gray is 2. Skubal is number 3 for me on the mound. Now, if you're hunting for saves, 2 closers still are available. One on a bad team, and that's Kyle Finnegan of the Washington Nationals. He does have 3 saves over his last 14 days. He's up to 5 on the season. 39% rostered. Over his last 5 2/3 innings, a 1.59 ERA and a whip of 0.71. On the season, 49 strikeouts and 49 2/3 innings, 22.6% of the batters he has faced, and a batting average against of 238. The second closer is a surprise, and we've gone through them all in Cincinnati, haven't we? Amir Garrett, TJ Antone. There was Heath Hembry for a while who got released. Okay, Lucas Sims. Well, now it's Michael Givens' turn. Remember Michael Givens of the Baltimore Orioles? Now closing for the Cincinnati Reds. And Cincinnati battling for a wild card. A available closer on a good team is rare to find at the end of August of a fantasy baseball season. But Givens right now is the guy. Now, we've seen him be terrible and get blown up by Baltimore. But a 35% roster pitcher who's got 3 saves over the last 14 days, 6 strikeouts in his last 4 1/3 innings. He has not given up an earned run, okay, and his whip is 0.69. In 9 games with the Cincinnati Reds, Michael Givens has been flat out dominant. 9 1/3 innings, 4 saves, no earned runs, and a batting average against of 100. If you need a relief pitcher right now, Michael Givens of the Cincinnati Reds is the relief pitcher to add because he's going to give you strikeouts, right now a low ERA, terrific batting average against, and saves, and more save opportunities because of the quality of the ball club he's pitching for that the Cincinnati Reds are. Okay, everybody. So Cortez, Skubal, Gray at the start. Finnegan and Givens are available out of the bullpen. Be sure to give me a follow at Aniano Fantasy. And like we said, head over to rotoballer.com. Check out all the great content right here on RotoBaller's YouTube channel. Baseball, football prep, whatever you're looking for. rotoballer.com on YouTube or wherever you listen to the RotoBaller podcasts. All right, everybody. Stay smart. Stay safe. We'll see you next time. Have a good one, folks.